What is up, sexy motherfucker looking at a screen? This is Insomniac. Welcome to the channel. So, this is my first video on my channel. This is the first video that's going up. And I figured, shit. This is the first video. I might as well make it about my first time getting high. It's not weed. Stick to the end of the video to see what it's on, but it's not weed. But the story also involves how I started becoming interested in drugs, all that stuff. I'm also really high right now, so pardon me, because this is the only way I could think to record this video. I also have some bullet points, so don't judge me. I have a list of bullet points because I'm so baked that I would not get through this video. I'm also going to be ripping the DAT pen. That's not going to help. Also, this video is only me retelling my personal life experience. I don't condone or recommend anyone try anything they heard from this video at home. Alright? Don't do this shit. Now, second, I am a registered medical patient under Pennsylvania state law. I have no clue what bill it's under, but Google. So, my first time getting high / how I started getting interested in drugs. I don't know if I said that right, whatever. So, I've had a long relationship with getting my mind altered. That's how I don't necessarily call it getting high. I call it getting altered, because there's so many. Getting high is just such a blanket term. Even DMT is different from 5-MeO DMT, which is different from LSD, which has nothing to do with crack, which has nothing to do with regular cocaine. There's so many different mindsets. So it's not just being high, it's being altered. So I've been taking Adderall since I was 6. And I knew that something was different, because when I woke up in the morning I felt one way, then after I put the pill in my mouth 30 minutes later I felt another way. So I already knew that something was up. In 6th grade, I got sent to military school. I think I also got kicked out. It's a story for another day, guys, because that's one hell of a story, but whatever, I digress. I became friends with, the older Russian kids, and, because I'm Russian as well. I'm Ukrainian. But, the Russian kids in military school, they drank. They smoked a little weed, because, they were, no, they weren't all rich pricks, because I guess it wasn't that expensive, but some of them were rich pricks. But either way, they only smoked, only some of them smoked, not a lot. A lot of them drank, though. Here's the thing. Oh yeah, the older kids, another thing I forgot to mention. The older kids, they started talking about, cough syrup and stuff, and oh, dude, I heard that you drink cough syrup, you get high. I didn't do anything like that then, but it was in the back of my mind. It was in the back of my mind. So I remember them saying that. Now, here's a big part of how I started getting interested in drugs. I remember this day so vividly, even though I was in 6th grade. The D.A.R.E program came in. I don't remember anything those motherfuckers said. Fuck those guys, dude. I remember there were cops. They were all over campus, so many of them. But I don't remember a word they taught me. But one thing I do remember was being up in this little classroom, the building in the corner of the campus of my military school. And they had the drug case that D.A.R.E had, and they had the mush. They had every drug in there, and I was like, whoa. And I actually got I don't know, it got me interested. I couldn't explain it. I can't explain it. Anyway, fast forward to 7th grade, and now in a public middle school rather than a private fucking military school for 6th grade. That, by the way, that school, they had grades 6 through 12, and it was living, it had boarding. So I was living with 12th graders while I was in 6th grade. Fast forward to 7th grade, public middle school. I grew up in a slightly toxic household that gave me nothing fun to do. That's just a short. I might get into it in a separate video. It's nothing really worth getting into. It's just I had nothing fun to do. Literally, there's nothing fun to do in my house. Nothing fun to do around me. So I was literally just around looking for a way to entertain my brain. So then I eventually started looking up the words household highs. I remember Googling this, the words household highs. And then that's when I found out about nutmeg. So this was my first attempt at even getting high. I walked around the neighborhood. I yoinked some fucking nutmeg, right? I walked around the neighborhood eating it with a tablespoon, while walking my dog, and then I got a straw. Oh, this hurt so bad. All right, I know, you say at the beginning of the video, don't do this at home, like everyone says that. Literally, don't do this at home, because it doesn't work, and it's painful. It's painful. I caught a straw, and I snorted. I snorted the nutmeg. Oh my it was the worst experience of my life. Like I was like, oh, this shouldn't hurt. I see people snort, so like whatever. This won't be too bad. So I did it, and I was just, oh man. And it like, you can't snort them though. You just have to eat it. So I was just being a dumbass, and Jesus Christ, it was so bad. It was pain. It was just pain up my nostril. I literally like stopped in the middle of like the neighborhood, just like like launching snot rockets. But whatever. So then I brought some nutmeg on the bus to like eat in front of the kids. Like, oh, I'm getting high. And then some pussy ass rat at the school counselor like talked to my dad. Also, let me say the nutmeg did nothing. So don't do that shit. That shit is stupid. I know it can do something. Like it turns into like amphetamine or whatever. Don't do it. It's stupid. Now, move a little forward. My first not real, but like my first time successfully getting altered from a substance other than Adderall and alcohol, I guess, but whatever. I went through the medicine cabinet at my house, right? And I yoinked a full fucking bottle of Robitussin. You know, the shit with DXM. DXM goes over the counter cough syrup. Don't do this, kids. Don't. I told my parents, I was just like, hey, guys, I'm going outside for a walk. They looked at me and they were like, what the shit? Because I'm fat. I'm fat. And I never go for walks. So they're like, what? What the fuck are you doing? You're physically unfit. Get back in the house. Not really. They let me go. They gave me a weird look and let me go. But I mean, they've been very like not controlling, but like wary recently because they found out I've been attempting to alter my mental state with like nutmeg and like stealing sips from their fucking alcohol. And I mean, as if there's something criminal about feeling different than like the baseline. But whatever. I digress. You guys know what I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with feeling different. Anyway, so motherfuckers were on high alert when I left. So like they knew like, watch the fuck out. I was so paranoid that I ran around the corner and I did like a mini loop all around my neighborhood just in case they were looking or something. Just they saw me leave, and I looped back around the house, right? And the Robitussin was still in my pocket. I ran behind my fucking shed, where there are like 5 million ticks. Not sure. I'm not sure why I went to the back of the shed. I could have drank it in my room. I could have drank it around while I walked around the neighborhood. I could have done a million things. But I chose to like do it in the shed or be not even in the shed, behind the shed with all the fucking ticks. So I drink that, I crack it open, and I've already figured out like the dosage. I didn't drink the whole thing. And luckily, this only had DXM in it, I think. I don't do DXM, but if you are going to choose to do it, make sure it has only DXM and none of the other shit like acetaminophen, guaifenesin, none of that other shit. You'll die. Just saying. Anyway, I cracked the bottle and I took a sip and I almost threw off. It's so fucking gross, which is weird because I got into a DXM habit later and it was the grape flavor. I liked the grape flavor later, but I remember it was just being so gross. It took me 30 minutes of fucking dry heaving. Like 30 full fucking minutes. Anyway, sorry, that was pretty gross. Probably edit that out. Maybe not. Fuck you guys. I love you. So, I come back inside after finishing the whole damn bottle, go upstairs, go to my room, and I start playing my DS Lite. Because, the DS Lite is the wave. You guys know what's up. Like, Pokemon and that bitch. Brain Trainer. Don't even get me started on Brain Trainer, dude. You can't fuck with me, Brain Trainer. Then, like, you guys that have done DXM, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Things felt like off. I felt like really light, like I weighed like nothing. That threw me the fuck off because I'm a fat guy, dude. So like feeling nothing, that was like weird. Also, it's like everything like everything in the world shifted somehow. It's not like it was physically moved, but like my perspective itself was moved. And now I was perceiving those unchanged objects in a changed way. That's fucking trippy. But anyway, I was interested in like exploring the rest of my house like with really this trippiness, but I was like, to me then it was a shifted perspective. And then I headed downstairs for a quick fucking snack. I never got that snack because on the way down the fucking stairs, I found what I discovered later was one of my favorite things to do while I was tripping on DXM. Stairs. I walked down the stairs and I literally felt like I was floating, like literally, like T-pose floating down those fucking stairs. If you do DXM, you definitely know what I'm talking about. When I got to that last step, I was so fucking awestruck at the experience of floating like Jeebus that I stopped and I stared at the stairs for must have been like 20 minutes, 20 solid minutes, just zoning at the stairs. Then, as if like a light bulb went on in my head, I had the idea to go up the stairs. This was like 5 times better than going down because I had no weight. And then I was like running back and forth, making so much noise, making my family definitely suspicious. I then remembered that I don't need stairs because we had a treadmill in my basement, which my fat ass never used. Ever. So, if running up and down the stairs like a fucking maniac didn't tell my parents I was fucking high, then the treadmill did, 100%, no doubt about it. And so I start running in a full-out sprint on this treadmill on a slight incline. They had to have looked at me. They had to have said that something ain't right here. But they didn't. They just let me do it. And after that, I felt exhausted, so I went into my room, closed my eyes. I remember having closed eye visuals, but I can't remember what they were of because I've had so many visuals in my life that I only remember the really cool or the really traumatic ones. Then I went to sleep. I woke up really happy with a really nice afterglow. I've never had a shit hangover on DXM. I've only had afterglows, and that's good. And little did I know that this little trip on the treadmill was the start of a fucking 4 times a week DXM habit much later down the line. I don't do it now. I don't do DXM now. I only smoke weed and the occasional mushrooms, whatever. But I was bad, man. I was doing so much DXM. But that's going to be it for this episode, or the first episode, I should say. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. This has been Insomniac, and have a good night.